And there's a whole universe inside the duality, right? Inside the me, inside our humanity. You're going to find just as much love there as you are going to find it out here. And this can be such a gift to realize how contracted we've been, particularly in the mental region or the nervous system region, feeling threatened, feeling unsafe, actually being unsafe, living in a body that's going to die and facing threat. Of course, it's going to not want to die. Of course, it's going to want to protect. And the okayness in that. Something that came up in the talks yesterday around what Angela pointed to in becoming okay with your own death. What does that really mean? And of course, any words that I say, just take so lightly. But it's not getting freedom from the form. It's not getting freedom from the nervous system or the mind body or the thoughts. If that settles or shifts or goes away, that's fine. That can happen. But it's allowing that vulnerable little me who really wants to live, really wants to play. Really doesn't want to hurt. Be exactly as it is, as much as it is. So that that aperture can just hold it. Because if there's a contraction around that form, that me, exactly as I am, then we can't really sense that unbound nature that we are. We can't really sense our unbound safety, even when we're dying, that which can never die. And it's impossible to talk about. Because it's being with it as it arises. And being surprised by the fact that the dying, even in the smallest moments, the dying off of a friendship, dying off of a hobby or a job. When we're really with it as it's happening, it's so different than any idea of it could hold. So I know that sounds strange, but being okay with the dying is dying, doing the dying again and again. Not necessarily in an effortful way or in any particular kind of way, because this is so mysterious and it's not in anyone's control. There's a trail to this meditation hall called Middle Way, and we probably all walked it at this point. And we can think of the middle path as freedom from extremes. Freedom from identities at any polarity. Fluidity, really. And that can become so paradoxical. Which is really where the unbound is just so illuminating. Through the infinity of what's held. Because if this path is effortful and effortless, and if it's dual and non-dual, and if it's blissful and it's painful, and if there's joy and there's grief, it's never going to make sense to anything that divides itself from the flow. So permission to not make sense. Again, as this retreat continues, it will take you. It will keep taking you wherever the journey is flowing and ebbing. And I'm sure you've already experienced a lot of twists and turns. Maybe small, maybe big. And being in the middle, even though it's really nonlinear, can feel, certain days can feel so long and other days can feel so instant. Let this unbound space in the middle support whatever's arising for you.